We've covered quite a lot with our RIC data and evaluation processes and covered quite a lot of our major tools. We've not necessarily covered everything and anything, but we've covered the majority of it with some of our previous ways of working and how that's carried forward, but also how that's evolved. Even with the likes of our collaborative engagements, where we're no longer focusing on those three broad kind of typical engagement categories, but actually how do we conceptualise that with some of our new thinking and apply greater depth to understanding and engagement with those categories. And of course that's facilitated through our Northern Lights TPAP, which again has a lot of the functionalities that we've known with it previously, but with a new one about how we generate leads and again identify prospective collaborators moving forward. And of course how that fits in to our Northern Lights data dashboard, drawing in, for example, our refresh progress tracker and the information within that, and of course some new processes which help us pull all of that together to provide that coherence. And of course that all aligns to what it is we do, our business as a regional improvement collaborative. And with that in mind, it's important to maybe just clarify the roles and responsibilities, where they lie in ensuring that we maintain our processes, which are ultimately collective. And of course, this is where the role of project management and improvement workstream and all of our workstream leads come into this. So, just to look at this in a bit more detail, the project management improvement team are there to maintain things like the Northern Lights TMAP, as well as to facilitate those Eventbrite registrations by creating the events and to maintain those systems. Of course, what else the project management improvement team is there to monitor progress and provide support, and that's why it's really important when it comes to your progress tracker, when you reflect on the data available to you and your subjective sense of progress, you provide that detail in terms of the brag by flagging it as a potential red or an amber. That's you saying that we need to keep an eye on this, we might need a little bit of help, and that's absolutely fine. That's what we're here for. And of course, what we need to do to make sure that you guys can do this effectively is to facilitate those data collection processes. And that's where we really value the feedback that has got us to this point, where we have refreshed and added and taken away bits as we move forward. And of course, that's where we come in to help monitor those progress and outcome measures with you. Again, understanding variation in those outcome measures and understanding, again, what we can do to make those outcome measures go further even. And of course, a big part of that is maintaining the data dashboard, ensuring that it works and again represents the data effectively. And of course, one activity that we've not covered with these videos is the quarterly team census, which we'll come on to talk about briefly in a second. In terms of the workstream's responsibilities, for example, in regards to the TMAP, it's there for you guys to submit your collaborative engagements data. And again, we've touched upon this, but we would look for that at least on a monthly basis. Again, really trying to limit any sort of recall bias, any sort of chances of forgetting about collaborative engagements. And of course, within the app, we need to make sure that we record attendance figures effectively and correctly. And again, drawing on various information systems, we can maybe do that using like Teams attendance reports, for example. And of course, we need to make sure that together we collectively come together and look at things like those prospective collaborators as well within the app. Of course, on a monthly basis, we're looking to report on progress, and that will be looking at your brag ratings and providing any relevant narrative, but also ensuring that your relevant data collection processes are administered, whether that is about SurveyMonkey, and again, you can liaise with the project management improvement team around establishing professional learning outcome measures using the standards that we have available to you, but also look at other potential processes that you might want to look at also. And of course, a big part of that is submitting those measures into the progress tracker, because that then feeds into the app, and subsequently make sure that we can feed that in to the dashboard as effectively as possible. And the final responsibility as well in regards to data is to ensure that you're copying in the relevant project management and improvement team members into team spaces that facilitate collaboration with, again, the system. And part of that is to ensure that we can conduct that quarterly team census, which allows us to record the number of memberships that we have in regards to our online networks. And again, it's really simple, just a case of adding in the relevant individual to ensure that that sort of activity can take place on a quarterly basis.